All right, welcome to the History of LA Ska one-on-one sessions. I'm your host, Junor Francis. And this series celebrates and aims to preserve and promote ska, rocksteady, and vintage reggae scene in Southern California and beyond through insightful conversations with legends and modern-day talent, including those behind the scene. So when you listen to this podcast series or watch us on YouTube, many thanks for your love. And of course, we always want you to tell as many people as you possibly can. On this episode, we welcome not one, not two, but three living legends of Jamaican music, the dynamic duo Keith Rowe and Phillip Texas Dixon and Rudy Mills. Gentlemen, welcome. This
Thank
is
you very much.
Greetings. Lots of
Thank you,
blessings.
sir.
Lots of
yes,
blessings.
Too
yes,
kind.
Lots of
Junor
blessings.
Francis.
Yeah.
yes, man. First time we've had three legends. We said that earlier, and never before.
It's a pleasure being here.
So to say we appreciate this is really an understatement, to have you guys. Not only to have you guys, everyone listening and watching, we want to make sure that you mark your calendar and be sure to get your tickets now to see Keith and Tex and Rudy Mills perform at Santa Ana, California, on Saturday, November the 5th. It'll be an incredible night, including from Los Angeles. We have the Steady 45, we'll be backing them, and they are extremely good. We have the Kingston Beat All-Stars, a brilliant all-star cast of musicians. We have DJs, Lady Isla, Lady Mila, Ted Morris, and I'll be your MC. So it's extremely wise. And I dare not leave out Jackie Mendez. She would really crucify me. We're urging people to get their tickets at www.lasantaoc, all one word, .com for ticket information. So all three, let's start by talking about this exciting tour pairing Keith and Tex and Rudy Mills. How did that come about?
Why aren't you okay?
Well, we work with a group of guys in Germany, the Steady Tones, and,
Yes.
And they've been doing our bookings for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very fortunate to be Rudy's manager. So we told him that Rudy, is our partner, and we'd like to have him with us as like a review. So we came up with the idea of a rocksteady review, featuring Keith and Tex and Rudy Mills, and it was extremely popular and extremely successful.
Yeah, it was. Wow.
So when you stopped using the rocksteady review, was that just for that particular project, or you continued?
Well, it was for that particular project. Although we can, it can be resurfaced. At any time.
And where are some of the places you played during that rocksteady review?
We played in Munich. We played in help me out, guys. We played in Austria. We played in Switzerland.
Zurich.
Yeah. Italy.
Yeah.
And lots of shows in France.
City in Spain.
We went outside, right outside.
Marseille in France.
Yeah. So we did quite a few countries and cities.
Right.
And the response in those various places?
Extremely
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
They were excited.
Well received.
Excited to see Rudy.
Because you had Keith and Tex, you both played in some of those places prior.
Before, yeah.
Some of them, yes.
Yeah, we go there mostly annually. We go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But Rudy never did with us, so
right.
Really, Rudy was the draw.
And what kind of crowd? What kind of capacity crowd? Were there festivals, clubs?
There were a couple of festivals.
Huh?
Yeah, we did
There were a
Freedom
couple of
Sound. Freedom Sound. We did
Right.
Freedom Sound.
In
It was
Cologne.
well attended.
Yeah.
We did
And
a bunch of clubs, which was packed to the brim, and enthusiastic audiences. So they really go for it.
Yes, but they have to.
You know, Junor, it's interesting how and we really didn't know about this when we first went back on tour in 2012, how popular our music, Rudy's music, have been over the years. You know, so we're always pleasantly surprised by the turnout. You know,
especially in Europe, because
yeah, man.
And John Jones has appeared on over 20 compilation albums.
Right.
And I didn't know that the Skinheads, John Jones was one of the Skinheads anthem.
Oh,
I didn't know
yes.
that.
No, how could you know? How could you know? No, definitely appeared on over 20 compilation albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Massive, man. So let's talk about growing up in Jamaica for all three. All three from Kingston City.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm from Alman Town.
Under the clock.
No, that's a half a tree.
I tell you guys probably hate country like poison.
No, I love country.
No, of course it's a joke.
I was born in St. John's.
Yeah.
I was born in St.
There
John's.
was a lot of conflict with Kingstonians and people from the country, and I think that started changing when Burning Spear, and I think some of those guys started, especially Burning Spear, started making some big tune. People started saying some of these guys are not complete idiot.
I remember when I first went to New York, everybody came from Kingston.
Oh yes.
Even countryman, Even countryman. Where you come from?
Kingston.
Kingston, yeah.
And probably only stop here to get passport and move on. So let's talk about growing up in Kingston. Anyone you can take it.
Well, I was born in Lower Kingston, in Rosemary Lane. I don't know if you guys know Rosemary Lane.
Well, we're talking to the whole world, so.
Yeah, and then I moved, and my mom and my father had divorced, so I stayed with my father, at an early age, and we were living in Alman Town, and Alman Town was a lot of entertainers come from Alman Town. I even want to make a song about that,
Hey, name a couple of them.
Yeah, man.
Darby
Dobson, may soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Jackie Opel, may soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah, B.B. Seaton.
But Jackie lived there, but wasn't from there. He's from Barbados.
From Barbados, yes. And you have Carl Dawkins.
Yeah.
And you have Roy and Lester and Keith Sterling.
Oh, the Sterling brothers.
Three brothers, and me and Keith Sterling was very close friends, And who else? And I was in a group called the Jets, before you had Vintage and the Jets. Yeah. You had in that group, you had Patrick Harty, you had Derek Buckner, Errol Russell, was the four of us. And, Jackie Opel wrote some songs for us and we back him up in some of his songs, and then the girls them start coming and mash up the group,
You blame it on the girls. But so be more specific though, because I can't imagine how that would happen. Because how can girls mash up the group?
Well, listen, man, they used to come at the rehearsal spot.
but if you treat it as business, after rehearsal, then you're gonna have fun, right?
Well, them time they never have that, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you guys need Marley, man. You gotta have that discipline.
So, I'm actually related to Keith because my girlfriend, which turns out to be my wife, was Keith's cousin. So the group split up and then I went on my own And I had a good friend, and me and him used to walk together. So any song I write, him know, him know them. So one day he used to work at Federal Records, and one day, one evening we're hanging out, and there was a bar in the neighborhood, and it had a jukebox, and I hear a song start to play, and that song sound like my song. So we stand up and him stand up beside me, serious as a judge. And lo and behold, it was my song and it was him singing it and him laugh. And I say, how come you do that, man? And he never tell me you was going, do the song. Because he had access to the recording studio, I think Corey had owned the studio.
Yeah.
What a studio the name, Keith?
Federal.
Yeah, and yeah, that was it. It never make a big hit, but he never did anymore. And then there was a guy, two guys working, Sam and another guy working at the studio, and they usually listen to your songs, So I went there to audition, me and one of the guys from my group, and we sang about 3 songs. I never like it, So anyhow, they same one sent me to Derek Harriet, They brought me to Derek Harriet. And I spoke to him and he told me must come back another day. So the day in question, I went, and Derek and another guy from the Paragons, forgot his name, but is not John Holt and is not
No, it's Barrett. I forgot his first name. Yeah.
What a guy named Keith? He lives in
Barrett.
Florida.
Last name is Barrett.
Yeah.
I can't remember his first name right now.
Yeah. So he was there with Derek, and Derek took me around the back of the record shop. They had a room there, and Barrett was with him, and I sang about 3 songs, and they liked them, So Derek asked Barrett which one he think he should record, and Barrett told him a long story. Yeah. So the joke about that song is, I wrote it off of one of the guy who was in the group, and he had a girlfriend, and he and the girlfriend pull up, and he couldn't deal with that, and he started smoke weed and all that every day and stuff like that, and he got off, he went crazy. They had was to take him out of Bellevue, It was so sad, So yeah, I wrote that song off of him. If you listen to the lyrics, you will hear.
Yeah, now we can make the connection. But I'm sorry, yes. All the articles I've read about you said Derek Harriet discover you, like Columbus discover America. I love these writers.
Yeah. But
Derek Harriet discovered.
Yeah, well, I've never really discovered me, me discover myself. So to speak. Yeah, and yeah, and then at the same time, Keith M was there, and they had some songs.
When you went to Derek Harriet, Keith and Tex was there?
No, not at that time.
Oh,
not at that time. Right. But they was at the recording, and they backed me up. They start back me up from day one.
Hey.
Yeah. So I lift my hat to both of them, because
reunion.
Right now here I am, and
we're still backing you up.
We're still backing me up,
So Keith and Tex, at that time when Rudy made Long Story, you guys were recording already, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think you guys did
before that.
Huh? Yeah, I think you guys did Stop That Train.
Stop That Train and
that same evening. Hey, Keith?
No, man, no. We recorded before you even came.
Oh, okay. But I know you guys did some other songs, but I don't remember which ones.
Yeah, we had Tonight was out already.
Yeah.
And I think Stop actually.
Yeah.
Right. So
then I think maybe it's Hypnotizing Eyes, but I know you guys did something on that same
Probably
yeah.
Leaving on the Train.
Huh?
Possibly.
Probably Leaving on the Train, because that was on another
yeah.
train
I think so. Yeah.
Right. So you didn't work with for any other producer in Jamaica?
No. Derek is my first, you know.
So you didn't go.
I try a thing at Coxon, you know.
And then what happened?
And actually he had a rhythm, and the rhythm was going, and him says sing the song that I did thing, you know. And I was singing it, and it was nice and groovy. But I find him was recording it, and I stopped singing. I said, maybe want to give it to one of my boys. Yeah.
But by then you had Long Story out, right? Long Story was
yeah. But I'm gonna tell you something else too. Before that, you know, I was singing with James and Barry. James and Barry from the Aces. Desmond Decker and the Aces.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how it's because how them become Desmond Decker and the Aces, you know. I was supposed to go to studio with them that day. And my father had gotten a job for me, because we usually go to the studio and I'm usually record the guys them who had hits there before. And so the day when we were supposed to go, I didn't go. My father get a job for me, so I go and get the job. I was sure of the job, you know. So they went to the studio waiting for me, you know. But I never turn up, and Desmond Decker had songs and they back him up, you know. So they become Desmond Decker and the Aces. But it was me and Barry and James started out, you know. And I went to Leslie Kong. Yeah, Leslie Kong, Beverly's Records. And Jimmy Cliff was the guy who listened to your songs, you know. So we sang about 3 or 4 songs, and Jimmy liked them, you know. And the one that him liked most, that him wanted me was to record, him told me that you never need those 2 guys, you could do it by yourself, you know. Yeah, so you know,
he's not into harmony.
Yeah, I never really wanted was to dish them dirt, you know.
Of course.
So maybe that was still a reason why I never go
right
and do the recording, you know. So yeah.
Yes, sir. So Keith and Tex, and
yes,
describe the year that eternally glorious year 1969, when the music transitioned from ska to rocksteady. Was it a sudden move, or was it gradual? I think one of the big songs that was Uptown Louis has been credited, Take It Easy, right? For the first rocksteady song with Lee.
Well, yeah, I think that was probably earlier than 69. I think 69.
No, I'm talking about the 66 when the transition.
Yes.
66, yeah.
66, yeah.
So I'm saying, how was the transition?
Go ahead, Shaq.
In my opinion, it was kind of sudden, because if you recall, ska was there for a long time, and rocksteady coming in and only stayed for a few years, but like all of a sudden it's ska, and then all of a sudden it slowed down to rocksteady, and you know, you have more melodious kind of harmony kind of songs come out, and I don't know how it never lasted longer, but because everybody seemed to love it, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of singers, even today, kind of pattern themselves after that era of singing that Jamaican produced. I think that's one of the reasons why Jamaican music is so popular in the world, because of certain eras. You know, I know Ska is very popular amongst foreigners and everything like that, but rocksteady in itself is the golden age of our music, I think. And
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think it didn't bubble a long time before it came in. It just came in, like them, all of a sudden them discovered that we can cover like foreign songs to our own idiom and make it sound really nice. So we find a lot of really, really nice melodious harmonica sound from that era.
So I can let me add to that. I can put my finger on an album, Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions.
Yeah.
When that album came out, Rocksteady came out. Okay? Because it was group singing, the music, you know, it's fa ba da ba da da, everybody's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
Have a good time. So it's slow. It's all right. You can't. It's all, you know, the ska music. Check. You know what I mean? Too fast.
Yeah.
So we listen to American music. We listen to everything American, you know.
It was like Slim Smith and the Monday.
Yeah. So the music had to slow down to facilitate singing those songs.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Don't forget now, a whole heap of songs that were done in the Rocksteady era were do-over music.
Right.
Yeah.
They were American songs converted.
Yeah.
So in order to do them over, you had to do them at a slower pace, a slower tempo. So that's how Rocksteady came about. And I think it lasted until the 1970.
You're pushing it, but that's okay.
Pushing it. But that's my feeling, you know. Like I was still singing Rocksteady into 1970. We were still singing Rocksteady until we left Jamaica in 70.
Well, come to think of it, we still sing Rocksteady right now.
Right?
We're still singing Rocksteady.
So all three of you, what do you remember about meeting Derek Harriott? Your own experience. Producer. He does everything pretty good, as a matter of fact. Wonderful composer, arranger, and producer. You know, producer, singer. Yeah. He had a group. He used to be with a group, the Jiving Junior.
Jiving Junior.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of respect for him in the days, you know. Like
Yes.
Because he's super talented.
Right.
He's a big singer, and you know, he just does everything right. So as a producer, the verdict is probably still out on him. But I mean, he was a MC in a band, and he was a lead singer for the band and all that. And he knew harmony. He had a great falsetto. He's a man you could learn a lot from.
Yeah, well, I know personally, I learned a lot about harmony singing from Derek.
Yeah, of course.
We kind of, Junior, we trusted that Derek would have treated us better than he did, because he was a singer too.
Right.
And it didn't turn out that way. But at the same time, you know, the opportunity that he presented us, you know, you can't deny that.
You can't deny that. Yeah. True.
Right. Because Keith and Tex, you guys went to Treasure Isle. As a matter of fact, you started out as 5-person, right? 5-person group. You went to Treasure Isle, and you did the circuit. Treasure Isle, Duke Reed, met with massive rejection.
Yeah, we went to even Prince Buster too.
Right. Hey. Wow.
Yeah, we started out, like the story has been told or retold. We started out as a 5-man group.
Hey.
We got our come up on, so we went to Duke Reed. Glad to tell you, but I know I'll rear some more. So, I mean, a lot of guys got discouraged because.
Understandably.
Yeah, you know, so for whatever reason, man, like Keith and I persisted. I don't know how it happened. I think what happened is that we had time on our hands. There was a guy named Kaya who had a piano, who we used to go by his place and bang out some songs on it. And practice harmony. And eventually we got enough good stuff to actually go, check it out.
Right.
So that when we checked it out, like first we tested it at the play field, like the football at the soccer field, and everybody said, "Boy, I don't know, boy, I'm not sound good, And then we said, "Okay, we're ready for audition." And so we went like Keith said, we went Prince Buster, we went. You probably would have ended up at Beverly's if when we had gone downtown, Beverly's was open, but they were closed. So we detoured and went to Derek Harrod's shop. And when we went there, I never forget the lady, her name is Cherry. Indian lady. Cherry said, "Oh, no, little boy, I'm not, I would not, so good. Said, don't move, Derek soon come."
What?
But she was saying that Derek wasn't there at the time, but we should wait around because he'll be coming soon. He came.
Soon. When Jamaica says soon.
About 6 o'clock.
So where other producers heard noise, Sue heard wonderful music.
Yeah, Cherry, yeah.
Cherry, wow. Yeah.
Derek heard it too. Because Derek said, "Yeah, I'm going all right, I'm lucky, because we're having a session this week." And without signing any papers or anything, he went and did this song for her. So, it just was the right time at the right place because a set of circumstances took us there by him.
Right. And you guys didn't record for any other producer, right?
No, sir.
Well, you couldn't go back to those guys. So did they try to reach out to you even after you had a couple of songs kicking Supreme, like Stop That Train and...
No, because in those days, Junor, you had stables of singers. Duke Reid and a certain sound. You could tell a Duke Reid song just by the sound. You can tell a Coxsone, a Studio One by the sound. You know what I mean? And you can tell a Derek Harrod by the sound. You know what I mean? There are different sounds and different stables of singers. So it was nice.
But again, it's amazing that the musicians were the same musicians playing for the other stables.
Well, not really. No. Because Studio One, we never had a Studio One.
Away from Studio One. Leroy Sibyls used to make the bass line for Studio One, right?
Away from Studio One.
Right. Duke Reid. The only person that played from Supersonics on ours was Jackie.
The bass player?
Yeah, Jackie.
Okay.
But that was it. But it was mostly Derek Harrod's Derek Harrod's stable of musicians, Lynn Tate, Hux Brown, and then the band, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Musicians from the Mighty Vikings.
Yes, yeah.
And trumpeter, name again.
You had Winston too. Winston who play keyboards.
Winston on organ?
Yes, who play, yeah. And Ike Bennett.
Ike Bennett played on ours. Yeah.
Ike Bennett, man.
Yeah.
But so that was a mix. So
truth be told, I wouldn't have minded doing a Coxsone rhythm, because Coxsone was like rah rhythm, like Coxsone and a Duke Reid. Duke Reid had a specific sound, like a lot of horns in it,
and very clean and uptown.
Yeah, Supersonics. Yeah.
Supersonic. Tell me my coke.
But no, during the early days, though, the statement is partially true. During the 60s, especially Ska era, more Ska, it was by and large the same musicians that went from Beverly, Studio One, and Treasure Isle. By and large.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
maybe horn section. Maybe horn section.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Catalyze did most of the backing up for those three: Beverly, Treasure Isle, and Studio One.
Right.
So, Rudy, tell us about the recording John Jones.
Okay.
And would you think that some half a century after it would hear that everywhere?
I'll tell you how that come about,
Yeah.
I went across to Franklin Town. I went over Franklin Town And I was coming back from Franklin Town, and I was taking a shortcut because I was living in Almontown. I was taking a shortcut, and I was walking through Alpha Boys School there on South Camp Road. I don't know if you know it.
Yes, man.
And I was coming through there, you know, and I just said, John Jones. I just spelled that out. I don't know where it come from, you know. But I knew a guy named John Jones. But at the time when I said that, when I just spelled that out, my mind wasn't on him. Mine wasn't on him. And then, you know, after I said John Jones, I didn't know nowhere else to go. But I said, you son of a gun. You know?
So you was just walking and making up the song as you go along?
As I go along, you know. I never completed the same day, you know. But then as things start to come to me and see, I said, this really could happen, you know. That a man come and take a woman and, you know, and say, boy, go ahead, you know. You know.
So and, song, I thought it was an autobiographical song, but you just, instead of you saying Rudy Mills,
yeah, you know.
You said that son of a gun, you want to say son of a something else.
Yeah, you know. And so that was it, you know. And I run it by Derek, you know, and him say, yeah, man, that sounds good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did that, you know, with Junior Mervyn and Derek Harriet, you know.
You did the harmony?
And a Sunday evening, yeah.
You remember the day, Sunday?
Yeah, true, yeah.
So approximately how many songs you recorded for Derek?
I think about a dozen, you know. Yeah, about a dozen.
So from there,
but you some of them never did release in Jamaica, because I did one and it was releasing. It did come out, but it never get no heap of play in Jamaica. But I'd gotten some royalties from Japan.
For the record, which song was that came out?
A song called Goody Goody. Yeah. And it was in Japan that I get some royalties from that, you know. And the tour we did it, the European tour we did it, and the people them love it. I never even knew it was going to come out, you know, so nice, you know. But the band Steady Tones, you know, they did well, you know.
Yes, big respect to Steady Tones, right?
Yeah.
So Keith and Tex, tell us about some of your powerhouse singles from '67. Songs like Stop That Train, Tonight, Don't Walk and Don't Look Back, and Let Me Be the One. Tell us about those recordings, how they came about, the ideas, the name of the songs, what went into it to make them larger than life.
Go on, okay. You know about Stop That Train.
Tonight was written about a girlfriend I had. I was walking back from Pebble to Marley.
You see, there you go again.
And I won't call her name, but I still remember her. It was a relationship that was just it was okay, but it's not progressing. So why won't you come on and tell me that you love me now? You know what I mean? Tonight. And so of course me and Tex we practice it and at Kaya's on the piano, boom, you know, and we play the chords. So when we went to record things like that, we had the chords already done. So the melody was there. All the musicians had to do was, you know, pick it up and then do their thing, you know. And Boris Gardner was also instrumental in arranging some of our music.
Yeah, he's a great arranger.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Stop That Train was a song done initially by the Spanish Tonians. Was a ska song.
Right.
It was a ska song. So I think the lead singer was Merlene. I forgot her last name now, but anyway, she was walking by Derek's shop one day, and I said, "Hey, Merlene," because back in those days, you know everybody, you know, singers know singers, and everybody is very cordial. It's one thing I liked about that era. Everybody talked to everybody. There was competition, but it was friendly competition. You know what I mean? And we were all cordial. Even till today, you go on the road and you run into some other singers. You know, they're happy to see you, and you happy to see them. You know, so I really like that era. But anyway, I asked Merlin. I said, "Merlin, can I do that song?" She said, "Yeah, man, go on up." So that's how we recorded "Stop That Train." We changed it now. Because it was I Am Going on the Morning Train. She was singing, you know, about herself. We changed it now. So we were going on the morning train, and we changed it, you know, so it's a change it around.
Then there was Linty to come in with the guitar.
Yeah, well, that's the iconic sound.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to give him credit. He's from the Trinidad.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Big time. Yeah.
I will never talk about Rocksteady without mentioning Linty.
You can.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
Talent.
Yeah.
He was living here in Montreal, you know, where I'm living. In Canada.
Yes.
He was there. Yeah, I met him a few times and we chat, you know. Yeah.
But Tex and I, we collaborated on most of the songs that we did back then, you know.
Don't Look Back was a Temptation song that we.
Yeah, that one I know. Right.
Sound good. So we tried it.
Yeah.
So maybe I know we talk briefly about some of the musicians, but let's sort of recognize some of the ones that you remember who played on the sessions, you know, including you, Rudy. But a lot of times they don't get the kind of respect they so rightly deserve.
Well, Linty, Hux Brown.
Joe Isaacs.
Yeah, Linty, Hux Brown, yeah.
Joe Isaacs played the drum.
Joe Isaacs, yep. Ike Bennett.
Ike Bennett played the keyboard.
Ike Bennett, yeah, keyboards.
Gladdy on keyboard. It's interesting, you know.
Yeah, Gladdy played keyboard too.
Gladdy turned us down, you know. But
and
Gladdy
then came back.
On our song. Isn't that something?
It's doing that
Yeah. Well.
In fact, I think I told him about it one day. I said, "Isn't it interesting? You played piano and you told us that we weren't good enough."
Yeah.
But you play piano on our songs. Yeah.
You know, honestly, it was a 5-man group and we were nervous, man. When Gladdy said, "Let me hear what song we know how." He said, "Let me hear the other one."
So which was the song that he heard that he didn't like? Had to be one of in the bunch of songs that he did.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, but we I can't remember which one because it was a big harmony song.
Right.
Because it was 5 guys.
How can 5 guys? I don't understand. You can have 5-part harmony. Is not good. Are you kidding me?
No, man, no, because
we were nervous, man.
Yeah, them guys were nervous, you know, especially the ones who weren't too sure.
I tell you why they were nervous. They heard outside of the studio, we heard the guys in front of us were tuning up, and they sounded really, really good. So we said, "Blow over with a couple of But when they go inside, in 2 seconds they come out and the man said, "Next." So we said, "Those guys know what they gonna do with it."
Yeah, if he kicked them guys out and they sound better than us,
So when Rocksteady transitioned into reggae, all 3 of you left Jamaica. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
Yeah.
What year you left, Rudy?
I left 69, the ending of 69.
Wow, so that's really when Skinhead Reggae, your song now took off worldwide.
Yeah.
You gone?
And I gone.
What motivated you to leave Jamaica?
Well, I was supposed to go to England, you know, because my brother was there. But somehow I wasn't really interested. And then my sister was in Canada here, and my mom told her must send for me, you know. So that's how I came to Canada through my sister.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in Jamaica, you heard your songs on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
So this is what I don't understand for a singer, and I can't put myself in a singer's place. But I don't think, because I so wanted to become a singer, that I don't think I could leave Jamaica, go live somewhere else where I can't hear my song on the radio.
Yeah, but I tell you something.
That's just me though, you know.
Yeah.
To go live somewhere I can't hear my song on the radio, I don't have opportunity to record. It would be almost like telling me to drink poison.
Yeah.
Really?
But listen.
I don't know. There's just something
when
about
I was
singing,
you know, I wasn't thinking about all what you thinking about, you know. I was just thinking about for the love of the music.
You kidding?
You know?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the love of the music. You know, I never had no star business.
Speaking personally, like I mean, as a little youth at 16, you're not enamored with this whole like musical scene, you know. Like you're doing it because it's fun. But life goes on. There's bigger things in life than music at the time.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like people expect you to do this. Your mother said to you, what will you do? You sing, go look walk, you know, or go do a course or something like that. So pressures abound. I had a fiance at the time. He said, you got to come to Canada, man, because if you don't come, I don't know. So there's pressure all around on you. And I mean, then besides, you're not getting any big portion of like money from singing. You might get a bit of notoriety, but you're not getting something to support you, right? Mostly to support the family. So you got to look out. You got to say, I weigh my options here. Do I stay or do I go? You know, so that's a big part of it, I think.
Yeah, man. Because when I came here, I never did I kind of parked the singing, you know, and I was working, and you know, then I go in the army, you know, the army reserve. Everything was on back burner, you know, and then I started to listen to Bob Marley, you know. I was kind of skeptic listening to him because of the Rasta business, you know. But then I started to hear some lyrics, you know, and I start to identify with the lyrics them, you know. And I said, boy, this man here say something, you know.
So and singing then was just like fun then.
Yeah, you know.
How about you, Keith? It was just we just sing. You didn't see yourself.
Yeah, don't forget now. I was like 16 years old when we started singing, you know. So it was fame and girls.
Fame
and girls, man. I remember after I recorded Tonight, I called my cousin in Montego Bay and said, "Watch your man, listen to the radio, you know, cause my tune will come out, you know, and tell everybody." I mean, so you know, you were excited. And I don't know. I love singing from I was a little boy, singing in the church.
So you're reinforcing my point. So I would stay with it until it kills me.
Yeah, but I never left. I left Jamaica because my family was leaving Jamaica. My mother, father, and brothers. You know.
Okay.
So it's either that or stay by yourself. So I went with the family, but I never gave up music because when I went to New York. I started playing in a band, start singing, you know, and doing recordings. I did a lot of singles when I was in New York. I won the first reggae song festival competition in New York in '75, and things like that, you know. So I never stayed away from the music. I went into the military, but even in the military, I had bands. And we played the military circuit and, you know, all that stuff. So I was always in the music. I wasn't doing reggae when I was in the military. I was doing more R&B, but, you know, but never left reggae alone, you know, rocksteady.
Yeah, so let's talk about the 1997 reunion when you guys started performing again. Was 1997 was the first time you guys link up again, right? You on?
For record.
Yeah. Well, as you know, as the story is told, I was in Canada. Like I put, like Rudy said, I put music on the back burner because there was bigger fish. You know, like a family, got married, had to work, pay the rent, whatever. So, but I always inquired about Keith. You know, where's Keith? So every time I would go to the States, I would talk to someone from our circle. I'd say, have you heard anything from Keith, or where did you hear anything? You know, Keith is in the army and nobody hear anything, right? So eventually one day, I inquired and somebody said, guess what? I saw Keith the other day, in New York. I said, really? So, so my interest was perked to get back in touch because, we did okay before. So, a reunion would not be out of the question.
Right.
So eventually we got back together and we kind of run it by each other and said, well, maybe we can do like a reunion CD or whatever tape.
Yeah.
At the time
Was it concert promoter that brought you guys back together?
Say what?
Was it concert promoter brought you guys, or was your idea?
It was our idea, like basically, between us. The concert promoter came a while after. They eventually got in touch with us via the internet or email or whatever, and asked us if we wanted to do like a return show, which of course the rest is kind of history because we haven't stopped performing on stage since then. But we tried like a tape album, and in retrospect we could have devoted more time to it, but it was okay. And a little time elapsed between that and our appearances later on. But we always had it in mind, at least I did, that there was things that we hadn't done yet and that we needed to do. So, that's persisted up until today. Today we have like a bunch of albums out and, prospects of doing more. So, yeah, man.
Nice. So, Rudy, when did you discover that there was renewed interest in ska and rocksteady?
Well, I never stopped writing, even though I'd put it on the back burner. And I started listening to more of what was coming out of Jamaica, with the music. And I said, but wait, I think I could work again. Actually, I had my album I had, it was, I wanted it on CD. And a friend of mine, daughter, told me that she knew how I could get it on CD. So she sent me to this guy who had a home studio. And I went and I asked him if he could put the album on CD, and he said yes, And then he looked at the album, he said, Rudy Mills, I say, yeah, by this him don't know it's me, because features change and, stuff like that. So he said, I have a lot of albums with this guy, I say, yeah. And him carry me and show me some Derek Harriott stuff, and him start sing some Derek Harriott song, I say, yeah, and him telling me, yeah, I should leave it with him and I could come back and, pick it up. And then him start to look at me. And look at the album. Say, is this you? I say, yeah, man, it's me. My guy almost hit the roof, He was so happy, And I say, yeah. So Him said, so what you doing? I said, nothing. he said, you want to do something? Him said, I said, okay, I said, fix the album, put it on cassette for me, you know? I mean, on CD. Him say, okay. So I went back. By this time, you know, I had some songs in my head, you know, and I went back, you know, and I hum it to him, you know, and him say, yeah, you know. So I went back with my son, you know, and we lay a track, you know. And that's how I started again, you know. And then
what year was that now, sir? When you
hey, that's a good while now, you know. About some 10, 15 years.
Wow.
You know. And then now he finished the song called Lonely, and mix it and everything and give me on a little cassette, you know. So I had the cassette there, I put it in a jacket pocket in my wardrobe, you know. And I had it inside there, you know, and after I retired from work and I was home one day on my couch and my phone rang and it was Keith, you know. And Keith said, what are you doing? I said, I retire now. He said, well, let's hit the road. If the people know your song, but them don't know you, you know?
There you go.
So I said, let's hit the road. Yeah, say, yeah. Say, have something thing. And, you know, so that cassette that I have, I said, well, we was going by Keith, you know, I was going by Keith to do some rehearsal and stuff like that. So I said, but wait, let me carry this cassette just in case, you know. I took it, you know, and I gave it to Keith. And I said, listen to that, you know. Keith listened to it and say, yeah, man, we can put it out. And that was it, you know.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful.
Yeah, man.
I want to take the opportunity to introduce my good friend and our producer this podcast, Eric Cola.
Thank you, Junior.
Yes.
Great to
Eric, big up.
Yeah. Big up, Eric. Big up, man. Lots of respect.
It's such an honor to have the three of you, such giants in Jamaican music and the music and the joy that you bring to the world from back in the day to now. And Rudy, the Southland here, California is so excited to have you finally coming.
Yes, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, Saturday, November 5th, and Keith and Tex, it's always a joy when you two come out here. So we're
no
so
stranger
excited.
to the Southland, Keith and Tex.
Yes,
we love coming there, man. We love coming there.
Yes. I want to take us back real quick to your childhood and some of your musical influences, singers and musicians growing up that you heard, whether it be Jamaican artists or not. Who are some of those? Let's start with you, Tex.
Yeah, my influences were varied. Like my uncles were guys who collected records, LP vinyls, and they could collect guys like Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, you know, guys like that. So I was exposed to that type of music early on.
The great crooner, right?
Yeah. So I had no interest in singing myself. You know, I didn't think I had any talent for singing. But I mean, I think I had an ear for what sounds good.
Okay.
So, you know, I can recognize it, but maybe I just can't do it like as good as those guys. So when the opportunity presented itself with Keith and the other guys, I mean, I was just there as an interested observer, but who participated eventually because I thought I could. So, like I said, my influences were not local; they were foreign. You know.
Okay, right. But on the local musician front, let's say during the the boogie woogie and ska era, right? Before you started singing in Rocksteady, who were some of the local singers that really caught your attention in Jamaica?
Well, the most impressive was like at the age when I started going parties, Bob Marley was just a young group started out.
Yep.
Delroy Wilson was a young guy started out, and those were kind of like the guys you really wanted to hear, you know, on the local level.
Got it. Right.
Other kind of music here was Lord Tanamo.
Yeah.
There was a bit of calypso
Uh-huh.
there too, but basically, you know, Delroy Wilson, you know, and that other guy I said. So
yes, amazing. How about you, Keith?
Well, my initial influence was to my mother. She could sing, and she always was playing music in the house. It was gospel music, because you know my parents were church. My father was a preacher, and my mother, she was a preacher also. So I grew up listening to gospel music and harmonies and you know, the music from the United States, group singing, and you know, just a lot of good music in the house all the time. So you know, you started hearing these things, and then I started vocalizing and started singing in the church. I remember they used to have conventions, and conventions you try to raise money for the church, to you know, for the church building or whatever fund they're doing. And my father used to bring me up and say, "You want to hear Keith sing? 216, 216, and raise money." And when the 216 was achieved, I went up on stage and I sang, and then I sit down again and say, "You want to hear Keith sing again? £1 pound, £1. Let's raise £1." And I raise the pound, let's sing again. So as a youth, at 9, 10 years old, when you're getting that kind of reaction, you know, so wait, I like this, you know, and I did like it. But growing up, Rudy mentioned Jackie Opel. Yeah. Wonderful singer, man. Wonderful singer. And I remember specifically walking to school from Norman Lane to Franklin Town Primary, and the radio fusion turn up loud as you walk in. Delroy Wilson, man. I'm in a dancing mood. Yes. I'm in a dancing, man. All them songs. Delroy was my Michael Jackson. Okay, he was Jamaica's Michael Jackson. Right. And so Jackie Opel, Delroy, and of course there were a lot of singers in groups, you know, that you love. Like I remember Tony Brevet from Melodians. Right. What a voice. Big singer. And a style. Yeah. You know? Right. Yeah. So those were my influences. Okay. But you know, there were a lot of American singers along the way, but locally, Delroy Wilson stand out.
Amazing. How about you, Rudy?
Yeah, well, my when I was young, my stepmother used to show me off because I used to like to dance, you know, and she used to show me off with a
James Brown style.
Not yet. No, not James Brown. They used to have a shuffle, you know. You shuffle and you snap fall and split and you know stuff like that. Oh. I used to like doing that, you know. So my stepmother used to show me off, you know. But after growing up, I used to go to a private school, and I was about 12. Yeah, if that much. No, about between 7 and 12. I could remember. There was a song on the radio called One Scotch, One Burgundy, One Beer. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember that. And I used to sing it. One scotch, one burgundy, one beer, please, Mr. Bartender.
Right.
So I used to sing that at the school, private school, you know. I would be just walking and it come to me and I'm singing it.
Not
And
very
there was a
appropriate.
male.
Not very appropriate to sing at a private school, though.
Yeah, well, you know, you're on lunchtime, you know, not in class, you know.
Oh, okay,
But,
right.
you know,
all right.
so there was a male teacher there, you know, and he used to listen to me and hear me singing it. And one day he hold my hand and say, "Come," you know, and he take me to the piano, you know, and he sat down around the piano and he says, "Sing," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to sing that song, you know, and it went well. And before there was a Christmas holiday coming up, and you know, school was gonna close, so they had a concert. So he says, "I'm gonna put you on that concert, and you're gonna sing." I said, "Okay," you know, concert come, man, and put me on stage. I tear up the place, man. Tear up the place with one scotch, man, you know. And then, you know, after growing, now with the group, we used to listen. One of the guys in the group, he had a lot of vinyls, a lot of American R&B singers, you know, like Jerry Butler, The Impressions, the Four Tops, you know, Carla Thomas, you know.
Wow.
A lot of those singers. So those singers, you know, inspire me, you know, and yeah, and local singers like Jackie Opel, Keith mentioned Delroy Wilson,
Wow.
you know, and Ken Booth was one of my favorite, you know. And you had Bob Andy, and there was a good bit that I used to listen to, you know, and I get inspiration from them, you know. So Stranger Cole was another guy, Stranger and Patsy, you know. You had who? Alton Ellis, you know, all those guys inspire me, you know.
Right.
All those people inspire me.
Yeah, no, I love that. Let's talk about. So you mentioned Patsy. Let's talk about the role that women have played and the imbalance, right, of female singers during the ska and rocksteady era, right? I mean, do you feel that not as many female singers or singers who auditioned and wanted to become successful really tried out, or do you think that they did and were not necessarily given the same opportunity? I'm curious. I mean, you know, we had the pleasure of talking with Norma Frazier not too long ago, and Junor and I have worked with Phyllis Dillon, obviously a huge name, you know, one of the queens of rocksteady. But there's clearly not as many female artists, right, Junor?
Right.
So I'm curious as to your take on it, since you were clearly from the heyday there.
Yeah, the opportunity was there. The opportunity was there for women, and there was a lot of them. You know, there was a lot of them. You had groups too. You had the Soulettes,
right.
which Rita Marley was in. You know, you had
Horton Sellers.
You know, the opportunity was there. Alton Ellis' sister, Hortense Ellis. Yeah, and you had a few more. They had opportunities. You know, I would say
you had a group like you had the Gaylettes also with
the Gaylettes. Yeah.
With Judy Mawat.
Mm-hmm. I think they were not like they didn't seek it out as much as the guys started out.
It's a rough business, though. I don't think a lot of women endure.
Yeah.
Because Jamaica is such a male chauvinist society, isn't that?
That's right.
You know, you listen to some of Marcia Griffith's interview, you know, Babandi literally had to protect her. I mean, it's rough business. But also, though, during the ska era, if you notice, Patsy and Derek,
right, the duo.
Always the male singer start out and then the female join it.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. Producers want it like that. The male start, female join. Practically all the songs from that era.
Yeah, the male-dominated sport, man.
Oh man, rough. I assume it was rough for female.
And I still think that's an issue today.
Yeah.
You know,
I think in a lot of forms of music. Yes. Yes. Let's talk, Keith and Tex, you've had the opportunity and the pleasure, as we talked about earlier in the interview and even offline, traveling the world, performing, you know, since you've reunited, right, in the late 90s. Where are some of your favorite places to perform?
LA.
LA, right? All right.
No kidding. Wait, no, you just saying that because
we've been around, like we've been Australia, Japan, Mexico, Brazil, Europe. All these places are
LA, Mexico. Mexico is different, man. Mexico is.
Yeah, let's talk about that because we hear that often. In fact, Junor comments on that.
Mexico, they are in tune to what you're doing.
Yeah.
I remember our first time there, we started singing Tonight. And we could have just stopped singing because they took it over.
Wow.
You know, and you talk about being pleasantly surprised. And all of the songs, in other words, before the artist comes, it's like they study everything you got. So they know every song, every word, you know, they even sing the instrumental parts. I think there is no crowd like the Mexican crowd.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Derek Morgan said that he knew something was happening in Mexico because when he toured Europe, people would ask, so when are you coming to my country? So my country. And then when you ask, they're Mexicans asking my country, meaning Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah.
But you wouldn't necessarily see someone from Poland or Russia ask in England when you come into my country.
Right.
But you would see a Mexican in Mexico or a Mexican in France ask when are you coming to my country.
Yeah.
So then he knew something radically right was happening.
It's happening
in Mexico that defied the ordinary understanding.
Yeah.
Because when you come into my country, it was a Mexican.
Yeah, and they travel too.
Yes.
They'll come to wherever you are if they really like you. They'll come to. We were on tour in Germany. Was it Germany? Or Switzerland? But there was a Mexican who was on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, and she and her partner stayed an extra day to catch the show.
Wow, that's devotion.
And it's somebody that we first met in LA on the first time we sang in LA.
Wow.
Yeah, and she diverted just to come see us.
Yeah.
And that was so nice.
Since you mentioned LA a few times, how many times have you performed here, roughly?
About 4 times.
So your first trip was SkaMania.
SkaMania.
And 2 times at the Dub Club.
And then Sierra Nevada up north.
Yeah, well,
so it's more than 4, about 5
Hollywood.
About 5 times in Hollywood.
We went to Oakland.
Yeah.
Once.
Oh yeah, 6. Yeah.
Right.
Well, LA, but
you mean 6 trips or 6?
Maybe performances.
Performances.
Right. Yeah.
In California.
Yeah. Right. And we must call out and say hello to Queen P and Nathan, who I know worked with you over the years.
Right.
Let's talk about your backing bands. You mentioned the Steady Tones, right, a number of times. Who are some of the other bands, contemporary bands, who have backed you over the years? Keith and Tex.
So we've had the Steady 45s, Steady Tones. Gosh, I can't remember some of the names, but there were great bands in. We went to Copenhagen. There was a beautiful reggae band there. also in Switzerland.
Okay.
I forget the name. I remember the leader, Matthias, but I forget the name of the band. But everywhere we've gone, some of the best bands, even in Brazil, some of the best musicians playing reggae, you know?
Right.
And good instrumentalists too.
Yeah.
So we've been fortunate. Japan has a steady band there. Every time we've been there, they're the ones back us. They're just, it's like an orchestra, you know, really sound good.
It is pretty amazing how a lot of the contemporary artists, and Junor and I talk about this quite a bit, but the younger musicians really love and respect and study, right? Study how the music was played back then. Rudy, have you also been impressed with the backing bands?
Well, yes. So far, it's only the
Steady
45 and Steady Tone that back me, and they're pretty good. You know, pretty good.
Yes.
I wanted to ask if you all three you performed together in the States, or this is the first time in America?
This will be my first time in America.
Oh, not just crossing Mississippi, the entire States. The first time all three of you performing together in America.
Yes.
Oh, this is historic. Wow.
I'm calling the LA Times right now.
Wow, first time in the States.
This is historic.
My goodness.
I mean, we knew it was historic, but yeah. Rudy, what are you looking forward to the most? Obviously, we're talking about the November 5th upcoming show in Santa Ana, Orange County, where Rudy Mills, Keith and Tex will be backed by the Steady 45s, one of the top bands on the scene. But Rudy, what are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to meet the people and give them what they want, and something good.
Yeah,
something good.
Absolutely. Keith and Tex, where have you performed? Sorry, where have you not performed that you would still like to tour? In any countries or cities that specifically are on your target list?
For me, like I I've been around, but I'd say Hawaii.
Yes. Yeah, Hawaii would be nice,
That's
right?
one spot I wouldn't mind going.
Right.
Any particular reason?
It's exotic out there, lots of beautiful ladies, and that's reason enough.
For me, Eastern Europe. I want to go to Czech Republic. I want to go to Croatia.
Right.
And also more spots in South America. It's we've not really we've been to Europe many times.
Right.
We've been to the UK, but South America and Eastern Europe.
Right. And so speaking of South America, Keith and Tex, you are going to Colombia coming up, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Next week, actually. Yeah.
Next week on a show with the King of Ska, Derek Morgan, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
King of Ska.
And then after that, you're also going to Mexico sometime coming up?
Yes. After we come to LA, yeah.
All right. And then Rudy Mills, after Southern California here, do you have any other scheduled shows just yet?
Well, not for this year, but next year we'll be going back to England.
Yep.
Yeah. SkaMania. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a big one. Right.
Yeah.
Plus, we're also working on another tour of Europe with the three of us,
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just going to ask, we talked about this off the air, but for the sake of our viewers and listeners, share where each of you are now residing and living.
Well, I'm residing in Canada.
Okay.
In the province of Quebec. Quebec is French,
Okay.
And I'm in Montreal.
And how long have you been up there?
From 1969.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty long,
Yes, pretty long. How about you?
And pretty cold too in the winter.
Yeah. That's why I left Brooklyn.
You'll enjoy Southern California weather then, Rudy. How about you, Tex?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto, Canada, like for the longest while, since 1972. And Toronto is one of the better cities, world-class cities. Love it here. No complaints.
And a number of your contemporaries over the years have also lived up there, right? I mean,
Johnny Osborne.
Then Leroy.
Yeah, Johnny Osborne. Yeah, I met him. Yeah, I met him here.
Leroy Sybils, right?
Leroy Sybils too, yeah.
Tonamo was living.
Tonamo. I haven't met him, but I knew he was here.
Yeah, he was there. Right.
He's an ancestor now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Jackie Me too?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we call him Jackie Me 3, but no.
Ike Bennett too.
I saw Ike back in the days.
Okay. Yes. And Keith, you're residing here in the U.S.
Yeah. When I first came to America, I was in Brooklyn, New York, and then I moved to New Jersey, and then about 9-10 years ago, moved to Tampa, Florida.
Okay. And the hurricane just
missed us.
Yeah.
Got a lot of rain though and wind,
Right.
But the weather is good here. That's the selling point for me.
Right, true. Junior, before we reach our destination, did we not cover anything? The questions also can be pointed at you three if there's anything else you'd like to share with us.
Yes, we definitely would, because there's lots of music going on.
Excellent.
We've got a new album called Freedom, which is a totally rocksteady album, collaboration between Roberto Sanchez from Spain and us. Roberto Sanchez has captured the sound of the 60s. And this is our second album with him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's being released it's been released since June on Liquidated label. This is our second
big label.
Yeah. Liquidator.
Our second effort with Liquidator. So we established a nice collaborative prospect here. We also have a totally roots album that's coming. It's actually released but not yet distributed.
Okay.
Totally roots, and it's done by a band out of France. It's on the Sound of Thunder label. That's also coming. So we'll have two albums with two different genres.
When you say totally roots, what do you mean?
Totally roots, reggae, not rocksteady. Reggae, totally reggae and roots.
Okay.
We speak about
a little bit of ska too, but mostly reggae roots.
Okay. Yeah, we speak about the issues of today.
Right. Amazing.
Yeah. So we still have a lot of music songs to write, lyrics to
work to be done.
Yes, sir. Five to go before we sleep.
Yeah, and one of the things that happened with us, with Keith and Tex, is that for the many years that we were apart, the vocals weren't abused and used.
Right.
Great.
So right now, when we are on tour, we're still singing the songs in the same key.
Wow.
As we did when we were 16 years old.
Wow.
So
you have preserved your voices.
The voices were preserved, and that's a plus for us. So
a lot of white rum, man.
That was the opposite.
Don't listen to Tex. Now we can drink white rum, but we weren't drinking white rum then, But so that's the blessing.
Yes, man.
Well, I've heard and seen you live out here, so I can attest to that. And Rudy, I've seen videos of you, and it applies to you as well. So
Rudy is fresh.
Yeah.
So there's a rumor going around that just like it was for producer Derek Harriott, you guys are going to back up Rudy and some of the songs. Is that a rumor?
It's not a rumor.
No, it's not a rumor.
or it's a correct rumor.
It's a kind of right rumor.
Nice.
Wow.
That's going to be.
It's a fact. The show that we do is, it's a Keith and Tex and Rudy show. You know what I mean? And
unique and one of a kind. No competition between all three.
No.
We don't. I don't believe in competition.
No, but
everybody has their own way and style and thing. You just do what you got to do and do what you can do.
Yeah. No, man, it's a collaborative effort. We're not
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially at this point in time in your life.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I can speak for a lot of people out here. Everyone is really excited to see you all. November 5th, Saturday at La Santa in Santa Ana. Keith and Tex, Rudy Mills are three legendary guests here on the podcast. They'll be backed by the Steady 45s. Junior, there'll also be wonderful singer Jackie Mendez, as well as the all-star group known as Kingston Beat All-Stars. DJs Lady Isla, Mila, Ted Morris, and of course Junor Francis is the master of ceremonies. So yes, we can't wait to see you all.
Yeah. We just want to say also too that we look forward to working with the Steady 45s again.
Yeah.
We did a show in England.
Wow.
The London International Ska Festival.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Plus I think we appeared with them in Canada,
and here in
Colombia.
Yeah.
And also we
Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we love what they do, and we're looking forward to that.
Excellent band, man. Excellent band.
They really are. Yeah. They recently also backed Derek Morgan, and that was a treat. So yeah.
Well, I think we can say too they'll be back in Stranger Cold.
Yes, next March, Stranger is coming out here.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Rudy, it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
It's been a pleasure too. It's been a pleasure too to meet you all.
Yes.
And hoping to see you. And November.
I would not miss it. And Keith and Tex, always wonderful to see you both. Big respect for all the music and all the joy that you brought.
Our pleasure, man. It's an honor.
Yeah. Yes. And Junior, I think we've reached our destination.
Yes, sir. Clock on the wall is saying we've arrived.
Time to remove.
Yes. All right. So we're asking everyone to please subscribe to this podcast series and to our YouTube channel. Follow at History of LA Ska on Instagram and join our Facebook group. Follow me at Junor Francis. And this series actually is produced by my good friend here, Eric Kohler, for Rockery Radio at Rockery_radio. Once again, thanks abundantly to everyone. This is really exciting.
Yes, it's been an honor.
Yeah,
and thank you to everyone who's listening and watching and ongoing support. Please get out there and support the live music. Let's keep it vibrant, and let's show our big love and respect to the founding fathers here of Rocksteady, Keith and Tex and Rudy Mills. And Junior, thank you as always. Until next time, everyone be well.
Pick up your audience.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right.